couple of weeks back, a few episodes ago, we started a conversation with the Knights of the Nerds table. And it was all about James Gunn's DCU. And how we went about this was by fan casting the DCU. Either characters that we knew were going to be in it, or characters we wanted to see. That recording ran a little long. So now, here is the conclusion of that conversation. Part 2 of Fancasting Gunn's DCU, Season 4, Episode 12. We hope you enjoy it. It's the villains and the supporting characters. Right after this, please stand by.
Hi, Puddins! Harley Quinn here, and you're tuned in
No,
to the
Holly,
Bear-
that's my line. You're tuned in to the Bear and Beard podcast. Enjoy the show.
It's like they're lining up.
Well, they're excited.
Let's get into the villains. Beard, take it away. You said you wanted to go first. We have Lex Luthor.
So this should come to no surprise to any of you, because I've mentioned this time and time and time again. Very easy decision for me. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I did not like him as Black Adam. I think if that
DJ's going to fight you.
Well, yeah, honestly, Black Adam would be a great movie if they just took Black Adam out.
EJ's definitely going to fight you.
Honestly, like,
Boycott Bear in the Beard.
but
EJ, I can see a reflection of your screen. Why are you looking at plane tickets right now? You taking a trip, buddy? Your wedding's right around the corner. You got time?
I gotta take a little trip.
This is gonna be the best. This is gonna be the best wedding gift to myself ever.
Honey, I got to take a business trip. I'll be back in a couple days.
All right,
Don't ask questions.
I wish I could remember the TikToker, but there was someone who's bringing up a lot of clips of the animated Lex Luthor, especially when he's in like that big suit, and then had concept pictures of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I love it. Now the only problem is I don't think that Lex Luthor would go well with my Superman, but would go well with some of your Supermans.
Yeah,
I think that's a great choice, actually. No, Beard, I'll back you up on that. I didn't think about that before, but it makes a lot of sense. It just sucks that James Gunn and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are on terrible terms right now. But love it.
Yeah,
love the pick.
All right, Jay, who you got for Lex?
So me and Beard talked about this before, and I think me, you, and Beard. And my first pick, because I'm a musical theater nerd and it's my lifeblood, I went originally with Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton.
Okay, love him.
Okay, but then I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And I hate to jump ship and be like, I love Leslie Odom Jr., but I'm going to go with the white guy. But I am. Will Poulter is phenomenal in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He plays Adam Warlock.
Well, it was underutilized, but
it's so funny. Like, I feel like this is the third or the fourth person that you specifically have mentioned, Jay, that is on my list, just not where you have them. It's very interesting.
I think I know where we're going to put Will Poulter, but that's funny.
When I think of, just like Beard said, when I think about animated Lex Luthor, I think about one thing: eyebrows. And Will Poulter is the king of Hollywood eyebrows. Just take the hair off.
Yeah.
But he also has this, he's been known for comedy. But again, I know he was cast as Pennywise before Bill Skarsgård was cast. I mean, he can do this dark stuff. And I just think up alongside a younger Superman, he would do really good. Now, another role that I think he would excel at is Superman. I saw that suggested somewhere today, and I was kind of here for it. But next, whatever we got.
I'm really glad that you brought up Leslie Odom Jr. I think I've heard you mention that before, but now that I'm thinking about who would go well with my Superman, I think he would play well as a Lex Luthor against Andy Samberg's Superman.
Yep.
Andre Braugher would pick.
I think my Lex Luthor would play well up against anybody's Superman. I went for the super intelligent version of Lex that I've grown to love from Young Justice. And I went with adult Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he could play that like super smart nerd. Obviously, I think that's
not a big
without being crazy
departure,
like Jesse did. Like,
I don't know. I feel like he wouldn't be that much of
crazy.
a departure, to be honest. That would be kind of the same game. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see if he can embrace like the dark villain side. But I don't hate that pick. It's very interesting.
And also, I feel like his catchphrase when he does something amazing needs to be Bazinga, but it doesn't need to be like Sheldon says. It needs to be like Bazinga. Yeah. Like,
So first of all, if Parsons is anyone, I think he should be Toyman. Secondly,
that would be a great
Brendan
pick
Fraser.
too.
No, Riddler. Imagine him as
Jim
Riddler.
Parsons is the Riddler. Yeah.
but
All
my
right,
choice. Sorry,
TJ.
I wanted to
No,
go
go ahead.
I apologize. I struggle with this one. So I had two that I almost landed on, but then I chose this one last second, right? I wanted to make Lex different because the thing is, Lex Luthor has really changed quite a bit throughout the years. Like we had the Christopher Reeves version in those movies. I forget the actor's name right offhand. Who played Lex Luthor? He was really this real estate mogul, and Lex Luthor back then. Yeah, Gene Hackman. There we go. I know it. He's a great actor, but basically he was a inversion on capitalism. He was supposed to be based off of Trump actually in the 80s, to be honest, because that's why he was a real estate mogul. Unironically, that's what he was based on. Then later in the 90s, he went to kind of like this more crazier and manic person. We had Clancy Brown in the Justice League Unlimited series, and just the Timverse kind of come across. That's the first time we kind of saw Lex Luthor like that, though. He kind of reinvented that for us. I want to if I want to go in that direction, I would go with Fast and Furious icon Jason Statham. If I want to go in that direction.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Like from the look and just the general menace, you could pull that off if you want to go like a Clancy Brown.
It's family.
Yeah. But you could see it, right? I would even think
no.
And so I almost landed on that, but here's a wild card pick because I like surprising people. So let's twist this a little bit, right? Terrence Howard.
Ooh. Okay.
Why am I
Damn.
drawing a blank?
All right. That's
Why
the
am I-
original
Let that sink.
roadie. That's the
Exactly.
original
Let
roadie
that
from Iron Man
sink.
1.
Let that sink for a second.
Next
But if you see him as a villain, he's very menacing.
Okay.
It would probably be the
He's
only
funny.
way we get him in a super exosuit again, too. So, I
And
mean,
he has a presence. You know, Terrence.
does.
You've seen him and stuff. He has a strong presence, especially if you watch Empire. Strong presence.
Word.
I'll be race bending it a little bit, but this is an interesting pick. Jason Statham to me was too easy. If I wanted my interesting kind of wild card pick, Terrence Howard.
I still remember when Terrence Howard was the bad guy in Big Mama's house.
Exactly.
Like that. So he's been a villain. So yeah, I can see it.
Oh yeah.
And talking about Statham too, like I've never seen him really play anything smart until I finally sat down and watched The Meg. And though that is another one of those Sharknado kind of movies where it's like you kind of put this on like you put on, like I said earlier, Family Guy. It's still, he plays a smart version of an average Joe. And so I could see that translating as well.
Yep.
Josh, round us out. Who you got for Luthor?
Okay, so again, I cheated, but it's fine because this is the correct answer for this question. Michael Rosenbaum, because I love Michael Rosenbaum. I think he's incredible in Smallville. I absolutely love how they develop the relationship between him and Clark, and just going off of what Gunn has said and how much he's pouring into writing the Legacy movie and all of that, I feel like that is super important. I think we need more to the relationship than just, oh, we don't like each other, because the whole transition of friend to enemy in Smallville is so well executed.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it hit so much harder when the friend becomes the enemy. And I think Michael Rosenbaum would absolutely kill it as Lex Luthor.
Well, and that relationship too is prevalent in like a lot of the animated films and stuff they've done too, where it's like the alternate version of Lex is actually friends with Superman, and then Superman goes crazy, like in the Injustice storylines and stuff like that. So where he's actually the hero of his world and not the villain. Yeah. So, and that relationship is kind of what spawns that. But Rosenbaum, that's a great pick. Oh man, I would love to see that.
And James Gunn loves him. He's in Guardians.
They're friends. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't gotten Sean Gunn mentioned anywhere on this list yet.
And he's gonna be.
He's gonna be in there. It's just he's gonna have some random role, you know.
He's playing two parts in Creature Commandos. I mean, he's gonna.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, on to our next villain. Now, this villain I had a little bit of knowledge about from the comics back in the day. We, as far as I know, have not seen a live-action version of this villain anywhere that I know of, but it's Metallo.
Yes, we have.
Have we? Where did we see it?
So on the CW.
CW.
Supergirl, I'm pretty sure.
That would be why. That would be why I didn't watch all of Supergirl. So.
Could I go first? I have to run to the bathroom.
Sure, go ahead. Metallo, Jay.
Oh, I do want to also preface that in BVS, Scoot McNairy's character, the guy that gets caught underneath the garter in the fight in the Man of Steel battle, that gets blown up later in the movie, was intended to originally become Metallo.
Really?
He was right up there with Lex. They were going to put kryptonite in, whatever. But since James Gunn is doing these movies and he wrote Superman Legacy, and I am a firm believer that the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker will take place pre-reboot, so that he can reuse his people again, like Nate Fillion and Rooker and
Pete Davidson.
I think Michael Rooker would be really great in this role. I just think that he does this great stuff with body horror, like we saw in Slither. That Metallo, seeing Michael Rooker with like half of his chest exposed and he's like a robot, I would dig it. I would really.
I think it's a really good pick. I like that pick a lot.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay.
See you, brother.
I'd like to go next for Metallo.
Go for it.
I was looking up images because I wanted. I don't know a lot about Metallo other than what happened in the CW universe, so I wasn't sure if there's like a human aspect or if it's always been like a robot. But I really watched some clips on YouTube for a really villain voice. And immediately what came to mind was the CW's Reverse Flash. I think I'm going to butcher his last name, Matt Lesher, who plays the actual Eobard Thawne before he steals the face.
Okay.
I think he'd be a great Metallo.
Well, I'm gonna chug right along behind you because mine's also from the CW and it's also from the Flash, but it's not Reverse Flash. It's Zoom. It's Teddy Sears.
I love that.
So, because I also was thinking look and voice, and the alteration they had to do to give him Zoom's voice would be something similar. I feel like they'd have to do, and he was Zoom overall, other than Reverse Flash, because he's throughout the whole show. But as far as a one season villain, Zoom was my favorite.
Zoom was the most terrifying. In the show, they say that Savitar was way worse than Zoom, but I didn't see it that way. Zoom was the worst. I actually bawled my eyes out when Zoom was just dragging the Flash all over the freaking city.
I mean, it was kind of brutal. I was like,
it was brutal.
Very brutal.
Like, Savitar was a horrible villain, but at least you had like some sympathy for what was going on. Zoom was just nuts.
Yeah.
And the fact that he starts out pretending to be their friend, pretending to be Jay Garrick, that just
it's incredible character design too. Like Zoom outfit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, incredible character design from the look, the voice, everything they did very well with him.
The meld mouth.
Yeah.
That was so
back
well
before
done.
the CW, before they fell off, you know, near the end, you know. I'm gonna make mine really quick here, guys. I mean, I didn't put too much time in this. I'm a cinema lover, as you guys know. I would just make a play off of Terminator, do Arnold Schwarzenegger.
See that? Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to de-age him a little bit, and you're gonna have to
Everybody
make
get
him
down.
fat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know,
I've got kryptonite in my chest. Get down.
It'll be funny, you know.
Get to the
Get
chopper.
down.
Ah,
Superman, get down here. Find me.
we're going to ride.
I love it. Awesome. I'll be back to kill Superman.
Yeah, it would just be a play off of older movies, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
again, didn't put a ton of thought into it. I was like, you know what? Have fun with that one.
Even if you just CGI'd him like they did in whichever of the
Genesis.
Yeah.
Genesis, and just CGI'd him and just let him provide the voice for Metallo, that'd be like on a CGI body double. That'd be great.
It'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be- Superman, you don't know what you did to me.
Not sure
I
you got
am your
the,
rude awakening. Pretty boy, come here. Eat my
awesome.
kryptonite hearts. That'd be great. I love that. Josh, who'd you cast for?
So I am so excited for like the next string of picks that I have. I've got some ones I'm really proud of. This one I'm particularly proud of. Henry Cavill.
Huh.
So
Okay.
you flip it and you make Henry the villain, okay?
Trying
And
to
you
kill Superman.
go from being Superman to being the dude that has kryptonite for a heart. That would be
Yeah?
so freaking cool. And
That would be a nice
They
flip.
wanted to make the whole, James is like, oh, I want a younger Superman. Whatever. Well, you don't need a younger Tallow. Like,
No, he can just be a guy.
yeah. So I think, and Henry Cavill can definitely do it. We've seen him play a villain a couple times now, and I think he could be a villain. And it would be so cool for him because it's a way for him to get back in the universe.
I don't think he would do it.
On like the opposite side. Listen, I don't think this is gonna happen. Okay, this is dream
if it
team
did-
going on right here. I prefaced my entire list by saying and told all of you I don't think any of these are correct. I'm just well, actually, there's a couple I think will actually happen, but for the most part, I think I'm wrong. I'm just saying what I would like to see.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. I love the twist of making him a villain of the hero he used to play. I think that'd be great.
Plus, you could like the like multiverse.
Moving on to the next. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this guy because I was never a huge Green Lantern fan, but this is Sinestro, the Yellow Lantern.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and give you mine. I cast Dave Bautista.
I like that.
I cast Dave Bautista mostly because of his performance in the knock on the cabin or something like that.
Cabin.
Knock at the cabin. His performance in that is the reason I cast him as Sinestro.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie yet, but I like that pick. I
mean,
really.
I just want to say something real quick. I mean, that's a decent one, but honestly, he should be Hugo Strange.
Yeah.
I can see that too.
See, for Hugo Strange, I just want to cast Hugo Weaving. But that's neither here nor there. That's another character
So-
I contemplate too.
I told you guys that I had this actor on my list, but it was a surprise where I put him. I'm really proud of this casting. For Sinestro, I have Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, that's actually
Ooh.
really good.
I think he fits the look, and I really
He
based
does.
the character off of his character from Star Trek Into Darkness when he plays Khan.
Oh yeah.
That
Yep.
just evil villain, like the way he talks in that is so much different than the way he talks in Doctor Strange or in Sherlock. He is a whole different villainous evil being.
He's
And I
definitely
think he
talented
did-
enough to do it too, and he's already got the goatee. So
Yep.
like we're spot on for that. That's great.
It's actually pretty good.
What, purple
Pretty
skin?
good.
Is it purple or pink? I can't remember.
Pink.
It's pink skin.
No, I first thought of Benedict Cumberbatch for Brainiac, but I think I like yours better.
That is pretty good for Benedict Cumberbatch as well.
Yeah.
Dude, that's another character Jim Parsons could play really well. Would be Brainiac.
Yeah, from a
Jason
comedic
Isaac.
perspective, yeah. No, but
All
I
right.
like yours the better, Beard. I think yours is good.
Who's next for Sinestro? Jay, you want to give us yours?
I can. Okay. So this is an actor that not a lot of people are going to be familiar with, unless you're somebody who watches TV on Apple Plus, or B, has seen Thor: Love and Thunder. But this actor is somebody who I have fallen in love with because he has such a range of emotion. And see, the thing is, in the Apple TV show Ted Lasso, if anybody watches that,
I don't know that.
he plays a very straight-laced, very serious, very angry character. But he shows up at the very, 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 very end of Thor: Love and Thunder. But I have Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso and Thor: Love and Thunder as Sinestro. He just has the look and the vibe. I even made an edit, which we can throw up here if I send it in. But I made an edit because I'm really proud of this one. But I just really love him. He's such a great actor. He's a great writer as well. But I just think he's playing Hercules. He was Hercules.
Yeah.
But I think because I don't know that that's ever going to go anywhere. You know,
I mean,
what are they doing with that?
Yeah.
Let him do something.
That
else.
whole after credit scene actually could have just been fan service for all we know.
That's true. You're exactly
because they showed all the gods but Hercules, and Thor and Hercules are very, in the comics they're very similar. So
I would imagine he has a role to play in Thor 4, whatever it may be.
Right.
We'll see.
Whatever it may be. But for the meantime, he also wrote that TV show that my Jon Stewart actor was in, Shrinking. He wrote that. He's just a really talented guy.
Cool. All right. EJ.
Billy Crudup. He was Barry's father in both versions of Justice League.
I love that pick.
And he's also, of course, in Watchmen as well.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with him, but
yeah, he's not going to be in the new Flash movie. He had a conflict, but I felt like he was really good as Barry's father, and of course his role as in Watchmen was really good as well. I forget the name right off, and I shouldn't forget the name. He's the main bad guy.
He was Dr. Manhattan, right?
Okay.
Dr. Manhattan. He's Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was just in another.
You're talking about the Watchmen movie? There's a show called Watchmen that I've never watched.
Yeah, I haven't watched
I was
the show
like,
either.
that's not even something in my mind. Yeah, okay. I see where you're going with that now. Yeah,
that's good.
He could have been Brainiac as well. I was thinking about a second one for Benedict.
I mean, the fact that
Cumberbatch.
those two characters are so similar, Brainiac and Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, absolutely.
It's not a far stretch, but
Yeah.
he would do really great as either.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great pick. Josh, who do you have for the yellow belly?
The yellow belly. I have Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
I'm changing my answer. I'm changing my answer.
There he is.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good
I just when I picture Sinestro and I picture Johnny Depp and what he brings to literally every role that he plays, I'm like, he would be an awesome Sinestro.
Oh, yeah.
And that sort of like dark and serious, I just
it would be
popped in and I was like, this is perfect.
It would be Grindelwald meets like some of his darker like characters like from Public Enemies and stuff like that for sure.
Really
like that'd be great.
Yep. And I would love to see it for him because everything he's been through on a personal level and sort of his career, taking a huge dive, and getting kicked. You brought it up, getting kicked out as Grindelwald, and being removed from that franchise. That was a real bummer because he's doing an awesome job.
I think that would be a great way for Warner Brothers to kind of like try to mend that fence with him and bring him back, because Sinestro is much like to the Green Lanterns, like Lex is to Superman and Joker is to Batman.
Very much so.
He's not a one movie kill him off character. He sticks around. He
has an arc.
He's just as much involved with the Green Lantern story as like Joker is to Batman. He never just gets one-offed. So I think that would be great. Like, even if he shows up in one movie, it's like, and we're gonna see him again. Somewhere we're gonna see him again.
James Gunn is the king of the one-off, though.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in there though for Johnny Depp. I actually have an even better character for Johnny Depp to play in the DC universe, Riddler.
I can see that.
Supposed to be Christopher Nolan's Riddler, was he not?
He was going to be. So they were thinking about in The Dark Knight Rises, they wanted to have Riddler at first, but Christopher Nolan was like, well, the Riddler is way too close to the Joker from a narrative perspective. So he wanted to make sure to kind of differentiate, because in each of those movies, there's a difference. The Scarecrow is all about fear, Joker is all about chaos, and Bane was supposed to be about brute strength. So if he brought the Riddler, it would be more inside of the chaos and the craziness. So he wanted to go in a different direction with Bane instead.
Organized chaos. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Let's do Ra's al Ghul. I'm gonna kick this one off. Sir Ben Kingsley, the fake Mandarin from the MCU. I want him to come back and play Ra's al Ghul.
I can see that.
Going with his vibe for how he was supposed to be as the Mandarin. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
I changed my answer. So originally when I made my list, I had Giancarlo Esposito as Ra's al Ghul. And I was very, very proud of that. And then we had a chat in our chat, and you guys were talking about Moon Knight or something. And I thought, actually, Oscar Isaac should be Ra's al Ghul.
That's a very good choice too.
And I think he would play very well off of
I mean, a couple of us picked him as a Batman, so
yeah. Let it just be both. Let it be Batman and Ra's al Ghul.
Play both. Why not?
Hey,
give him a beard when he's Ra's, you know.
Look serious, like similar.
But if you Google Oscar Isaac Ra's al Ghul, there's an image that comes up. And I don't know what the taped up thing is that's on the corner of the picture, but then it has Ra's al Ghul next to him, and it looks like it should be.
That's a worthy choice. Jay, who you got?
So I'm still bitter about Liam Neeson.
Aren't we all a little bit?
Very bitter about Liam Neeson. But again, just like with Damian Wayne, I felt it was really important to emphasize the fact that Talia, Damian, and Ra's are Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
They are Desi. Or East or Asian, whichever iteration.
Depending on which backstory you go for Ra's al Ghul, because there's
started to go the Asian route,
Yeah.
and then for some reason trailed to Liam Neeson. I don't know why.
Well, there is one storyline I think for Ra's where he was just a white guy that went exploring and found the Lazarus Pit many, many, many years ago, and he just reinvented himself with all the head of the demon League of Assassins,
Which would be great. Make him a villain that is a reflection of cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
Sure. But if you don't, and if you go the original route, this actor is so unknown, but if you have seen the recent Guy Ritchie directed Aladdin remake, and of course Spider-Man Far From Home, the gentleman that was their kind of he was like their he was their bus driver, I thought. The gentleman, he's kind of Ramadi looking.
Oh yeah.
And has long dark hair and a goatee. His name is Numanakar, and he is so good. But I went with a more youthful, because the Lazarus Pit has to come into play in some regard. So I went with somebody who would play ancient wisdom, old, knows everything that's ever happened in the world, but has the body that could go up against Bruce.
Right.
So this guy, I just thought he'd be great. He fits the bill, and so my picture will be up so y'all can see it.
Okay.
Mnemonic bar for Rachel.
Love it.
Thank
I
you.
can see it. Josh, EJ, which one of y'all race?
Chaperone, that's the word.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and go for it. I mean, this one, I had to think about this for quite a long time, but he's come up before. But Pedro Pascal.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Okay.
Pedro's on my list, but not there. Obviously.
Pedro's everywhere. He's on every.
Yeah. Pedro would be
I want to
interesting.
put him on my list, but I don't know who to put him as. Pedro's amazing. I love me some.
Yeah.
I think you'll really like where I put him, Brian. I think you really will. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Josh, who you got?
So for me, I went a different route for sure. So you guys probably won't like this pick, but I really like it. I think it would be cool. I went with Viggo Mortensen.
Don't know who that is.
Guys, if
I
you're
know
not
that
remembering,
name.
Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah.
So it's the main guy with the long hair and the sword.
He's like essentially the main character if you only had to go with human characters and not hobbits. So
Wait, is he the guy that was in Game of Thrones as well?
I don't know.
There was a guy from Lord of the Rings that played Eddard Stark in. I don't know what character that was in Lord of the Rings.
I don't know. I
Okay.
famously, as
That
we've
was
gone
the
over
same
on this
guy,
podcast before, have not seen Game of Thrones. So
you should. if you ever have, a day or two to waste, definitely.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
he was Kevin Feige's original pick for Doctor Strange, too.
He might have been.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been a
That would
bad
make so much
call.
sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it.
All right, last of the villains, rounding them out here. Jay, since this is your favorite villain, I'm gonna give you the start on this one. Let's do the Joker.
Thank you, because I want to get the starting point on this, because like you said, it's just out of frame, but right here in this wall is like a 245-piece Joker's collection.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it, maybe a little bit. But I have been on this train for about 6 years now, like long before he even resurfaced into Hollywood. But guys, Macaulay Culkin is built for this role.
Yep. I saw it.
Oh
Macaulay
my
Culkin
That's
is
good.
built for this role.
I sent Jay a TikTok of another person who was.
I've been
they were
talking
trying to
about
cast
this
him
for
as
6 years.
They were trying to cast him as some Marvel role, and this guy was like, "Whoa, no!" Because there's only one role in comic books that he should ever
Yeah,
play.
Jay,
It should be
Jay.
Joker.
I chose his brother.
Dude, Succession, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy I was talking about,
Kieran.
the
Dope.
TikTok I sent to him said that Macaulay Culkin and his two brothers should play the three Jokers.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness. We were on the same wavelength on that one,
I
man. We were
mean-
going to the same gene pool.
yeah,
Yes.
that's funny.
That's really
No,
good.
Macaulay Culkin.
I mean, Joker is essentially a grown-up. What was the
Kevin.
kid's? Kevin.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all
Kevin.
he is. He's
Yeah.
a grown-up villain, Kevin. So, yeah.
We had that conversation about him, and I almost put him as my Joker too, but I wanted to go different. So I went with John C. McGinley, who, if anyone's a fan of Scrubs, Dr. Cox.
Dr.
I
Cox.
think he would play
That'd be
a fantastic Joker.
He would be a great Jack Nicholson-esque Joker, but he could also pull off like the more Mark Hamill-y kind of. I can see that. Like the
Any fan of
organized
Scrubs,
crazy.
the way that he talks and exaggerates everything. If he just up pitched his voice a little bit, added a laugh, and he's the Joker.
He was also in the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't know.
He's my. I have 5 Brooklyn Nine-Nine actors, and I can count him as one.
He was
of
also
them.
in Burn Notice, so
Yep, Burn Notice.
I liked him in Burn Notice. I went with Jeremy Allen White, who plays Lip in Shameless.
Yeah.
And he's in the Bear.
And he's
I'm
in the
changing
Bear.
my answer.
He's in
I'm
the
changing
Bear.
my
Oh my
answer.
God.
Yeah.
That is
Can I
perfect.
tell you something real quick? Can
Yeah.
I tell you something real quick? Okay, so on the Marvel side of things, Scott Summers.
Yes,
Scott
Yeah.
Summers.
100%.
Yeah.
Like that.
He's
I'm
my
behind
Scott
that.
pick. He's so good.
Yeah.
And Willy Wonka. He'd be a
But
great
yeah,
Willy Wonka.
Jeremy Allen White was my pick for the Joker. I just see him pulling off
Interesting.
that crazy, organized, crazy kind of mentality, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really think he gives Steve Amell a run for his money in my universe.
Long hair, greasy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd go good with Jensen Ackles, Batman.
Yeah,
sexy. That's sexy.
yeah,
I
that's
love
pretty
that.
good.
All
I
right.
mean, obviously they already have Cameron Monaghan as the Joker in
Yeah.
Gotham series, so also from Shameless.
Yeah. EJ, who you got for the Clown Prince of Crime?
I already said it. It's Kieran Culkin. That's who I chose.
Oh, you call
Yeah.
okay. Macaulay's brother. Okay.
Brother, he's in Succession right now, so that's why I was looking. I was like, I can't believe he said that, because I thought I was the cool guy that was gonna come with this.
I
out of
didn't even
nowhere
recognize him. Mama Bear's been watching that show, and I was like, why do I know him?
Yeah.
Like,
looks
but he's
like-
not who I thought he
I want
was.
to watch it so bad.
Bro, he looks like he's a mixture of Tobey Maguire and his brother.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can see
EJ, after
that,
the show,
actually.
after the show, I'm gonna send you that video I sent to Jay about the 3 Joker story. I never knew about the 3 Joker storyline, but you're all in
It's okay.
that guy, and I
Yeah.
love that.
All right,
I'll
Josh.
say this about the 3 Jokers.
Oh, yeah.
I own a lot of comic books, but the 3 Jokers it's not one of them.
It's not one of them.
It's not one of them.
Josh, who
So
you got?
for my Joker picks, because we have a handful.
Okay.
So I went with one. I saw an interview with this guy. I know you've all heard like the rumor or the concept or the idea, but I heard an interview of him talking about it. And his idea for it, I really, really liked. So it's sort of like a half answer. So William Dafoe, I'm sure you've all heard, seen the concept
of
art and
course.
everything. But what his idea was to play an imposter Joker. And I loved that idea.
I love that.
So you have the movie where he's pretending to be, or in the movie, right? He's pretending to be the Joker. The real Joker shows up, but like he's pretending, he's got the makeup on and everything. He's telling people he's the Joker and whatnot. But then once he gets confronted by the Batman, he's just
Right.
all laughs and giggles and clearly not the clown prince of crime.
You fell for my trap, Batman, except it wasn't mine to lay.
Yeah. So, and then this is the other 2 people that I would really, really like to see. I went a little ham on this one, I guess, because I have 3 picks, but one of them is only like a half a pick. I would really like to see Tom Hiddleston play the Joker.
Yes.
Because we've seen him as Loki, obviously, but to see him go deeper and darker, and he's got the smile for it, which I think we all agree you got to have the smile. I would love to see him in a Joker role, and the other person that I think would just knock it out of the park is Bill Skarsgård, because he he was it.
He's already a clown.
He's already been
he's
a clown.
already a clown.
He's already done the makeup and the creepy smile. So I feel like he would do an excellent job. So
Yeah, I'll also throw out there, and regardless of the controversy surrounding them, Ezra Miller would actually be a great Joker. I know he's like literally cosplaying as one right now, but yeah. I can see it.
That's good.
Method
All right.
acting,
Moving on, and to round out the episode, we have finally made it to the supporting characters that we.
I'm excited for this.
Do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
These are going to be rapid fire for me. I don't really have much explanation because I really feel like my picks sit for themselves. So let's start with Soup's love interest, the reporter Lois Lane. I went with Elizabeth Olsen, Wanda from WandaVision.
I like that.
I like it.
I've seen a lot of like trailers and snippets of other films she's been in that I think she would do really well as this. It's not just because she was Wanda Maximoff, but I think she'd play a great Lois Lane.
Because Lois Lane is like a character that gets a lot of people. It's tough to get into that character. Like, I don't think Lois Lane has been done perfectly on screen yet. Like, you know, you can look at the Reeves series. That Lois Lane, I don't know. I just never connected with her. Amy Adams did a great job. But you know, there's some things like they finally kind of utilized her a little bit more in the storyline, which I enjoyed. But if you're going to look for like checking up with like Smallville and putting him down and kind of pushing him aside, I don't think you get any better than Jennifer Lawrence as Lois Lane.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Like, come on,
she would also work with my angry version of Supergirl very well because they've already.
But chill out, Smallville. Like, you can see that, can't you?
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So
I love the fact that, like, with Elizabeth Olsen, the line that kept coming to me wasn't so much the chill out Smallville as much as it was just like, oh, honey, you think I can't do this? You know, like the whole, like, because in WandaVision, she was that super powerful being, but she kept it in check, but she still had the ego of it, like, as we moved into Multiverse of Madness. So, I think you're right. I don't think we've had a perfect Lois Lane. We've gotten close, but I've never liked the damsel in distress version of Lois. I've always liked
the hard-hitting reporter,
the dependent or independent. Yeah.
I'm a reporter. I'm not a woman. I'm a reporter.
Right.
I love that line.
I think that there is one perfect Lois. She's not my cast, but the Superman and Lois show, I think that is an amazing Lois Lane.
She's very good.
I haven't seen that show.
To base off of that kind of Lois Lane, I went with Andy Samberg's partner in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Melissa Fumero, who plays Amy Santiago.
Amy Santiago. That's a very good choice as well. I like that. Though I could also see Rosa Diaz, the actress that plays Rosa Diaz, also being Lois Lane. If we're picking from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, for sure.
Nine-Nine!
I still can't believe that she doesn't sound like that she puts on a voice to be Rosa. Just fun fact, for all our Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans, the voice of Rosa is not her voice. We're talking about the girl that played the main voice in Encanto.
Yeah,
that's who plays Rosa Diaz. So
she's in Modern Family too. She's Gloria's sister.
Yeah. So, but that's a good point. Amy Santiago for Lois Lane. That's good.
Jay, who do you got?
So I have two. This was one where I was just so split because I am a person who believes in if somebody is pitch perfect for something, cast them. But I also have people who my heart goes towards, who I lean towards. Now, as for the pitch perfect Lois Lane, Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things, Nancy Wheeler.
Okay,
I love
not bad at all.
She's already a reporter, so
she is just cookie cutter. If you could have your way, there you go. Now, I saw a movie last year that I need to watch again to really understand what's going on, but I think I've got a really good idea of it. And the actress in it is really hot in the media right now. People want her in the MCU, they want her in the X-Men cast. But I really think if you want to go for a Lois who is out there, who is digging for the story, who is always on the search, who is always on the ball, Keke Palmer would just be so good.
That's another great choice. Yeah.
I'm actually ashamed. She was like one of my first crushes growing up. Like, that's really
I love her so much.
Oh man, I'm gonna go look at her later.
Lane, but I still love the fan casts for her to be Rogue and
perfect. Ooh, yeah.
Josh, round us out with your Lois Lane pick here.
Yeah, so I don't need to say a whole lot. I went with Rashida Jones. I like her character in Parks and Rec a lot, and Perkins. Yeah. I just think that she has that sort of right mentality. She goes through an arc in that show, and same if you go back to her character on The Office. Like, she really is sort of a self-made woman and very driven, and I think that that's what we're all looking for in Lois. At least that's what I'm looking for. It sounds like what you guys were saying. You know, someone who's not the damsel in distress so much, but more of someone who, you know, goes out there and is a reporter asking hard questions, going to dangerous places, talking to dangerous people, asking dangerous questions. And I think that Rashida Jones would fit that role really well. So
interesting fact, of course. I mean, James Gunn's ex-wife was the actress who played Pam Beasley, Jenna Fisher. So they would have a connection.
Really?
Yeah, that was his first wife.
All right. Moving on to Jimmy Olsen. I'm glad you brought up Parks and Rec, because this is where I put Chris Pratt. I needed a fanboy. I needed a goofy kind of guy that can be serious. So this is where I put Chris Pratt.
You're gonna love my pick, Robert.
If we're going Parks and Rec, I mean, I didn't even choose this because, like I said, I have no love for Jimmy Olsen. I mean, he should be like, what's his face, Ron Weasley looking. But let's go out of the box. If you're going Parks and Rec, let's have Aziz Ansari.
Oh, that would be a great fanboy cast. All right, Jimmy Olsen, the wearer of the super watch. Who y'all got?
So I have Richard Speight Jr., who's I did not know that was his name. I see his face instantly. Gabriel from Supernatural. I did not know that was his name, but I think he would play a great Jimmy Olsen.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll jump in.
That's a great name. Richard Speight Jr.
Yeah.
So it's funny, again, EJ, we're a little too in sync. You mentioned Ron Weasley. I do have Rupert Grint on here as a honorable mention, but my actual pick is Will Poulter, and I alluded to this earlier that I did, in fact, have him on my list. I just think he fits. I'm thinking of his character from We Are the Millers More, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Jay, who you got?
So again, just like when you pick up Chris Pratt, when you pick up Will Poulter, you think, who is in James Gunn's sandbox at the moment? This is another actor from the It movies and the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But I have Wyatt Olef, who played young Star-Lord and the young Stan in It Chapter 1, the young Jewish boy.
Okay.
He's a James Gunn actor. He's young, and if Superman's in his 20s, Jimmy needs to be in his late teens, early 20s, and this kid is right there,
like just getting the job.
And as I have said popularly before, James Gunn is a director, is a writer, but what I see him as right now is a star maker. And if he can take anybody who isn't prominently in Hollywood and shove them in, he's going to. And this is the perfect role to have a young actor who not everybody knows come in and shine.
I could see it. That's a good pick.
Thanks.
All right, then let's move on to another Daily Planet team member. Let's do Perry White. I'm just gonna say this. It's J.K. Simmons. Because he's just the J. Jonah of the DC universe, and I want him to keep playing those roles. So,
yeah, J.K. Simmons was my honorable mention. My actual pick that I would really, really like, and this act has a special place in my heart and a special place in Sam Raimi's heart as well, is Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love Bruce Campbell. I think it's awesome that he's in all three of the Spider-Man movies, playing different characters seemingly. I love that he's in Multiverse of Madness. I love him in Burn Notice. It's one of my favorite shows all time.
The Fall of Sam Axe will forever be one of my favorite episodes of Burn Notice.
Yes. So I think Bruce Campbell would be awesome.
He just is Perry White. I mean, he just is.
He's so good at being fresh. Like just being fresh. Like it just the like he makes me laugh. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but in Spider-Man 2 is it 3?
Which
all
character
three.
was
He's in
it?
all three. Yep.
the Toby. So when Peter is going to propose to MJ.
Oh yeah,
And,
Yeah, with the
um,
drinks.
the-
Yep.
It's the
Yeah. So
he's
he's
the
like
maitre
the
d'.
guy at the restaurant, right? And so
Yeah.
Peter takes out the ring and he like shows it to me. He's like, yes. He's like pretending to be French. And he's like,
Yeah.
yes. And he's like, takes out his glasses and puts his glasses on. And he goes, oh yes, very pretty. It's perfect. It's
His
so
timing
good.
is really good.
He's like insulting him, obviously, but he's like,
Right.
Yeah.
he's like, I can't see the diamond. Hold on, let me put my glass. Oh, there it is. Oh,
and he
yes.
kept on waving him away, and he kept on coming back. It was just a very good bit.
Right.
Yeah. I think he would make a great Perry.
Yeah, I mean,
Pizza
Perry.
Papa gets paid. Pizza Papa gets paid
I love
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump in. This Perry was something that I wanted to do something different with because we've had different versions. Lawrence Fishburne killed it. You know, kind of
Yeah. A
little bit of
very
hard ass.
good role. I
Yeah.
thought.
So I have two choices for you. We're gonna bend it each way. He's not gonna. Once again, we're not going with a white dude. I would have Kirsten Nelson, who is Chief Vic from Psych.
Okay.
So I would gender bend a little bit, but it'll be fun, and I think that's a role you can do that with, and you can call it Perry too. Why not? Make it a
Yeah.
gag. Make it a gag.
Yeah.
The other one I thought about, Ice Cube. Think of Ice Cube from 21 Jump Street. It would kind of funny. It would be. Come on, you would enjoy this. Yeah,
I like that. I
it would
like
be
that
kinda
a
funny.
lot.
Yeah,
Get out of my
yeah.
office.
Well, he was
Smallville.
supposed to be J. Jonah Jameson, wasn't
He was the
Yeah.
runner-up for J. Jonah Jameson in the Garfield universe.
Oh, that's
really?
so
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a nice piece of trivia.
yep. So I thought Ice Cube. It would just be funny. I think just imagine the
Oh yeah.
21 Jump Street type of vibe. I thought it'd be funny. You know.
I agree.
Oh no, yeah,
I-
I'm with you.
I'm really glad you brought up Lawrence Fishburne because that's actually what inspired my pick. I went Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. Captain Holt and Andre Braugher.
Not bad with either.
Yeah.
He's actually voiced Darkseid in one of the cartoons.
Mhm.
Really?
Yes.
That makes sense. He's got a very prominent voice.
Yeah.
He was in The Rise of the Surfer, the Fantastic Four sequel
Yep.
film.
Mm.
He was one of the military commanders. So
He
he's
also
no
wore,
stranger to nerddom at
yeah,
all.
but he also warrants a Squatch Talk moment because he's gay.
Yep.
Yep.
Not just the character, but yeah, he himself.
Yep, he
So, yeah.
really is. Yep.
Mm.
Okay. So for this next one, let's just go ahead and do all three of Clark Kent's parents because we added Jor-El.
Can I do this, by the way?
Yeah.
The first one to start off.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
we
Yeah,
added
John-
Jor-El.
Yeah, we
I
added
don't-
Jor-El.
I didn't
I
see
feel
that.
like
I'm
me
sorry,
and
guys.
DJ
I don't
have
have
the
a pick.
It's fine.
So
if you don't have
I'll just
someone
vote
Jor-El.
at the end and tell you who's
I feel like
right.
me and EJ have the first pick. this
Oh
season.
no. Mine's out here, right? So
All right, go ahead.
for Superman's parents, Pa Kent, Matthew McConaughey.
All right. All right.
For Ma Kent, we're gonna go off the beaten path again. Lisa Kudrow, Phoebe from Friends.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
I love Lisa Kudrow.
And Jor-El, he's been in space before. Mark Hamill.
Oh, we were close. That's
Okay.
great.
Okay.
I like that.
Jay, well, since you added Jor-El, well, I'll go ahead and let you give your three.
I'm proud of these three because I really love the people that I have picked as Ma and Pa, and I'm gonna preface the second part. But for John Kent, I mean, you can't go far off the beaten path of American Truth and Justice than Dennis Quaid. I mean, I think Dennis Quaid would be so great in this role.
You would.
So of
I
course.
almost cast Clint Eastwood when you're just talking about like classic American.
Right.
Like I almost cast Clint Eastwood. Like
Right.
it's really close.
Yeah.
Now, I also feel like James Gunn may cast Michael Rooker, but anyway. For Ma Kent, I follow this person on Instagram, and they are a fervent queer and trans ally, and so I see them as a mother personally, but final girl, kick-ass woman herself, Jamie Lee Curtis, as Ma Kent.
I changed my that was my first pick, but I changed mine because of who I cast as Pa Kent.
Okay,
we're vibing. We're vibing
just
a little bit.
Is mother.
Yeah.
So her. And then for Jor-El, I'm really proud of this one because he really deserves this. And I've heard rumors that he's supposed to show up in something as another Superman-related entity. But you can't not cast Nick Cage as Jor-El.
Yeah.
You can't not. I mean, he just... I could absolutely see it. Just seeing him putting the baby into the cradle. I was like, yeah, it's Nick Cage. So I'm sticking to my guns.
Nick Cage is actually my question, but I like
I dig that shit too.
That's good too.
I may have casted everyone in the DC universe in my spare time. Don't worry about it.
So I'm going to go ahead and go because Jay brought up a good point that Gunn might cast Michael Rooker. I cast Michael Rooker without even thinking about that because of his performance as Yondu. He's already a secondary father. I've seen him play that role, and he can play a country boy because he was in Tombstone. So, but so for John Kent, Michael Rooker, but for Ma Kent, I originally had Jamie Lee Curtis, but I went back and said no, Sigourney Weaver.
I like that.
I want her to have that drive, that attitude, and so she could definitely pull it off. My Jor-El was just a simple pick because of who I cast for my Superman. I needed a slightly older, but not too much older. I just went with his brother, Chris Hemsworth, for Jor-El because he's going to be sent to Earth, and so that was in the past. And so, let's bring Chris Hemsworth in for a cameo, for a flashback or whatever.
He can give the nice advice. I'll admit, I actually do not know who my Martha Kent is. I was looking up pictures because I was going to put pictures together for this. I was looking at pictures of my John Kent, who is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So just take away Batman's dad and make him Superman's dad.
Take Thomas Wayne and make him John Kent.
Yes,
that's wrong.
But I like it. And then I was looking at the photos, and there's this lady he's in photos with, Hillary Burton. I don't know anything she's been in, but they look like they have chemistry, and she looks like she'd be the perfect Martha Kent.
Is she his wife?
I don't know. I didn't look into
She might
it that
be
far.
his wife.
That might be.
It could be.
She might be
it was
his
just
wife.
in a photo.
But I mean, that works. Like cast a celebrity and just let them be who they are, but the parents of adopted parents of an alien. So,
but my second choice for Martha
comedian
Kent,
man.
my second choice would be Bruce Wayne's mother that we see in the flashbacks in the Justice League movie. I can never remember her name, but she's in The Walking Dead because they just act well together.
Lauren.
I think my Jor-El is going to throw you guys for a little bit of a curveball, though.
Uh-oh.
I went with Carl Urban.
I dig that.
And I see it two different ways.
I don't hate that.
I see him with the beard being a great Jor-El, but I also, from Star Trek, clean shaven, he would still be a great Jor-El. So I don't know which style I would want him to go for, but either way, I think he'd be a great Jor-El.
That's not a bad pick.
I love Carl
Every time
Urban.
I think of Carl Urban, I think of Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing I think of for Carl. But he's been in so much. So, yeah, that's a good pick. Josh, I think you're the last one.
Real quick about Carl, our friend Carl Urban. He was actually, I didn't put him on my list, but he was on my mind for Lex Luthor. So I just wanted to bring that up since you brought him up.
Yeah.
We've seen him with a shaved head.
He'd be a good Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
We know we could pull off the shaved head, so we could check that box.
And he obviously has a problem with superpowered individuals. So
exactly.
I mean,
yeah. But for Ma and Pa Kent, I really like the story of this gentleman fresh off his Oscar win, Brendan Fraser, I think would be a really cool Pa Kent. He's got the heart. He would just bring the heart to that role that you really need in Pa Kent. So he was my pick. And then for Martha, I went with Winona Ryder. I think that she's done an excellent job. I mean, she's obviously has a very, long and storied career. Yep. But her job as a mom in particular, taking care of children in Stranger Things. And if you look at her character in Stranger Things, she's a mom, but not just her own kids. Like the kids are at that house all the time. And she's concerned about the children. And like, she's a mom to all of them. So, I mean, it kind of, but she also she keeps her humanity, right? Like there's a lot of freaky stuff going on in Stranger Things, right? And obviously having an alien land in your backyard and starting to raise them is a strange thing, pun intended, I suppose, to happen.
And she has that motherly instinct.
Yeah. So I think she could be kind of like grounded, like she's still a mom and still worried about, Clark's safety and his well-being, even though he's literally Superman. She's still going to have that, I care about my son and I fear for his mental and physical well-being, even though he's theoretically, impervious to any kind of harm, unless there's kryptonite.
Still worry about it.
I worry about him, and that's the Martha that I really want to see, because that's the way a mom would really be, regardless. If you're a parent, when you have kids, regardless of how good they are at something, no matter how good they get at eating food, you still are are they choking? Are you breathing right now? Right. So I like that pick. And as far as Jarrell, like I said, I didn't realize that we added Jarrell. So I don't necessarily have a pick. I do really like EJ's Mark Hamill pick, though. I think that's a really neat idea.
Take him from being the Joker to being the father of Superman.
Yeah, well, not only that, but you look at him as Luke Skywalker in the newer, not as good Star Wars movies.
Don't say that. We're not ready for that.
It's opinionated.
He plays
he does play the wise
older, wiser sort of Luke, and I think that he could bring that sort of wisdom. But there's also that little aspect with Jarrell where there's almost I don't know if coldness is the right word, but there's a kind of calculated part of him, because he literally sent his son to another planet, right? It was for a good purpose and there was a plan, but at the end of the day he literally was good luck, little dude, so
he didn't know,
cold, calculated, this is what's best, I'm gonna do it.
He just wanted to give him a chance. It wasn't necessarily I've planned this out, you're gonna go to this planet where you're gonna have superpowers and you're gonna be a god. No, it was I just want to give you a shot, so I'm giving you a shot. But
at the end of the day, it does take a level of I don't know if coldness is the right, but that calculated, logical, this is what I'm gonna do, because you have to take your emotion out of it in order to put your child into a spaceship and shoot them off of your exploding planet and be like, hey, well, there you go to this planet, it looks good. See ya.
I mean, originally, Superman was created by two Jewish creators. He was a metaphor for Moses in the Bible. You know, as Moses is put in the basket on the Nile to give a chance. Superman was given a similar one. I will throw out there really quick. I mean, as far as Krypton goes, Carl Urban for Zod actually sounds really good to me.
I love that so much.
I didn't think about that.
I really like that.
I think he would be a good villain, no matter what. I guess that's why he popped into my head as because he's kind of a villain in The Boys. I mean, he's the good guy, but he's also kind of a villain. He's
anti-hero at best,
incredibly brutal. And
maybe even more of an anti-villain.
Yeah. And I think he's shown the capacity in that show to be a psycho. And I think that if we put him in a role as a villain to be that kind of psycho, I think that's
he'll be
fun. I don't think
he has crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes. Yeah. He could definitely get that look in his eye, he's gonna kill you and he's gonna enjoy it. Yeah.
All right, rounding out the list here, we are almost done, gentlemen, and we appreciate everyone that's continued to watch and listen to all this. I know you're probably listening in stages, almost like I watched the Snyder Cut.
Might need to be too.
So, but So let's do these two together because these are Batman characters. We have Barbara Gordon and Jim Gordon. Let's do these together because I cast them based off of that. For my Jim Gordon,
Bullock.
Well, Bullock is his own character. We can do him with Alfred, I suppose.
Okay.
But Jim and Barbara really need to play off each other, like the mother or the father-daughter dynamic. I cast everyone's favorite daddy, Pedro Pascal, as Jim Gordon.
I love that.
And for my Barbara Gordon, I cast another Game of Thrones actress, but also no stranger to the superheroes. I cast Sophie Turner from
Love that
Phoenix.
so much.
Yeah.
You almost make me want to change my answer, but I have been saying my Barbara and Jim for the longest time. It has to be Bryan Cranston and Jane Levy.
Oh, I like that too.
Can I get it?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
So I also want to preface. I should have said this at the very beginning, but I don't like to give in to the internet. You know, there are some characters.
Says the social media sorcerer for this show.
There are some fancasts
I like it.
that people push relentlessly. And it took me a long time to come to this. But yes, I have to agree with Beard. Bryan Cranston, at this point in his career and his life, is perfect for the role of Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
Like, pitch perfect. Just do it. Now, if not Bryan Cranston, Ethan Hawke. I love Ethan Hawke for the role.
Ooh.
Because my Barbara Gordon, my main pick for Barbara Gordon is Maya Hawke from Stranger Things.
Okay.
Is Robin. Robin. But if I went out of the box, and I'm a sucker for changing things in order to tell a better story. Now, Jim already being the best man in Gotham, now he has to deal with possibly losing his daughter to vigilantism. Now, what if she was also adopted? And I am a big sucker for, and I've already said Jonah Howard King as Superman, but Halle Bailey would be so good as Barbara Gordon.
Oh no, you thief!
You thief!
You thief!
Wait, did you do it too?
I did.
Yeah!
For a
Halle
fat
Bailey.
girl, I did. But she was on my short list. I'll choose someone else then. Fine. You're just too brilliant, Jay.
I'm so
You're too
sorry.
brilliant.
I'm
Too
so
beautiful,
sorry.
too brilliant.
I love her so much.
Well, EJ, give us your Jim Gordon, and then I guess give us someone else for Barbara.
Fine. You know, I'll go with Halle Berry's sister, who's in Grownish.
Chloe Bailey, yeah.
Chloe, yes.
Chloe
Let me go with
Bailey.
Chloe because I was
Yeah, cool.
having a toss up between those two. My Jim Gordon, Nick Offerman.
Yes! You're amazing.
Yes!
EJ, you're amazing.
EJ, you're the thief because that's my pick. It's right here. It's right here.
Oh, I didn't
Right
even think about
there.
that.
I'm out.
You
I
thief.
love you, Josh.
Nick
Yes, he's
Offerman
perfect
is,
for it. I've just been sitting here quietly like, yes, nobody's stole my perfect pick.
To quote Nick Offerman is my inner beast, just as much as Seth Rogen is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that somebody else thought Hallie could be Barbara, though. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, of course. I love Grownish, so I liked her actress a lot.
I agree.
But yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry. We watch the same shows. That's the problem.
Well, he's
All right,
just
Josh,
he's
round us
he's
out
like
with
a
your
perfect Jim Gordon, like perfect. I just I don't know
really
what to say
is.
about it. And everybody's loved his performance in The Last of Us. Like, I mean, it's just there's not enough to say about. Like, he would be a great and legendary mustache, which is essential to playing Jim Gordon. You
And his
play Jim
stand-up
Gordon
comedy
not.
is very, very
Yeah.
well done as
Yes.
well. Like,
and I think that
there's
would
a lot
be
of people
fun
that
for
don't
Jim
know he
Gordon,
does
even though
that.
Jim
Very
Gordon is
good.
supposed to be like serious and whatnot, and Nick Offerman can definitely do that. I think like the occasional sarcastic comment I think would be welcome.
Oh yeah. Give me the animated version, like the original animated series version of Gordon, where he cracks jokes every now and then.
Yes,
like with Batman, like not with his coworkers, with Batman, and Batman's just like
New Year's Eve coffee.
So
I can imagine him just being like oh my god, I can't believe this is happening again. Guy dressed in a bat. Like I could just see that very much, and just think of his scowl and the cap.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot of sense.
I can see it.
All right. Well, now that my thunder has been stolen, I'll just go ahead and give you my fangirl pick for Barbara Gordon. I am a really big fan of this actress. I have been for a very long time. She's in my favorite movie. And I don't know if you guys will like the pick. It's just I love this person, and I was like, I need to have her on here somewhere. Emma Stone.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Emma's
almost
great.
casted her, but I just always felt like Jane Levy has to be Barbara Gordon.
So yeah, that was my. I'm a huge fan. I want her on this list, and I felt like out of all the characters that we had, I felt she fit Barbara best.
Okay. So now,
although I really want to see her play Spider-Gwen. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah. I would love to see her play Spider-Gwen. Let's move on to the other two Batman characters, because we literally are almost done. We're down to the last 5 characters here. We have Alfred Pennyworth and Harvey Bullock. So I want to go first.
Go for it.
This one.
Fine, then I want to go second because I'm not getting stolen from again.
My Alfred Pennyworth, and look, I wanted to let him retire, but when he chose to come back to television, I took that as a sign that we now need him in the DC universe, because he played a great Charles Xavier. I need Sir Patrick Stewart to play Alfred. Because it doesn't matter how young or old your Batman is, Pennyworth's been there the whole time, and he's been a secret, he's been a secret kick-ass guy. So,
I mean, Patrick Stewart's gonna knock anything out of the park that he does. So,
and he also is the confidant, the intelligent side. Patrick Stewart can do it. He can do all of it. So, and for my Harvey Bullock, I went with Brendan Fraser. I want Brendan Fraser to get to be a good / bad guy and kind of give us that mix, and I think he can pull it off very well.
Yeah,
I'm glad we both had Brendan Fraser on our list. I'm going to start with my Harvey. Actually, I'll do it a little backwards from you.
Okay.
So my Harvey is actually David Harbour, because I think that he can do that role so well that you're talking about. I want Brendan Fraser to be my Kent because I want him to bring the heart that he has, but I want David Harbour to be my Harvey because David Harbour can walk that line of he's a good guy, but he's also kind of a dirtbag sometimes.
Kind of shady.
I feel like yes, he can nail that role of like, yeah, he's good-ish, but he kind of treads that line a little bit. I feel like he would knock that out of the park. My Alfred, I feel like this is kind of a sleeper pick. And I guess I didn't really need to go second because I don't think anybody's going to steal this one. I don't think anybody had David Harbour as Harvey Bullock either, but judging from reactions. But my Alfred is actually Hugh Laurie.
Remind me who that is?
That's really good.
Has anybody seen the TV show House?
Is really good.
I've seen
it's the main
Dr.
House.
Okay. Yeah.
So
right,
he is so sarcastic, so quippy, and that is exactly what we need for Alfred. Alfred's sarcastic,
and
just
fun fact, he's
talk.
actually British.
Yes, exactly. So he doesn't even he's got the accent down. I could just see it now, him making smart remark after smart remark to whoever Bruce Wayne ends up being, or to Batman. I feel like he would knock the role out of the park. I feel like it's a bit of a sleeper pick. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but I think he would do a really, really good job.
That's actually really good.
So
I still, my favorite Hugh Laurie fun fact is the fact that he was in the live action adaptation of 101 Dalmatians as one of the bad guys.
Yeah. You forget about that sometimes. That's funny.
All right, Brian, who you got for Harvey and Alfred?
I'll do my Harvey first. I originally only had one, but through the conversations, I've actually added a second one as a bonus. My first one I had for Harvey Bullock is Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Not a bad choice.
That's a pretty good one.
He would do a good job.
And then in a very similar light to Woody Harrelson, Michael Rooker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
either one of them would be good at it. Yeah. Yep.
I think
and we all know Rooker's going to end up in this universe somewhere. So
somewhere. And then for my Alfred Pennyworth, this is my final Brooklyn Nine-Nine actor. I have Mark Evan Jackson, who plays Captain Holt's husband.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And honestly, if you just listen to him talk in any role he's in, I think he could be a great Alfred even without a British accent. Like just the way he commands his voice is so smart, and I just feel like he'd be the perfect.
Oh yeah, his Kevin Costner cadence from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is. I mean, I wouldn't have to have a British accent. Like, I mean, let's be honest. The only time I've ever really heard a British accent from Alfred, like on purpose, was Michael Caine. So, like every other one has been like a loose accent to me. But Michael Caine really drove it home with the voice. I think, I think he could do it based off that.
I also just thought of a bonus one. This isn't my pick, but I've never watched this movie, but I've seen lots of trailers for the movie The Menu, which I've heard it's a really good movie, but I haven't actually watched
Ray
it.
Fiennes.
The guy who plays the main cook guy. Yeah.
Yep, Ray Fiennes.
That's Voldemort, right?
Yeah.
He's my pick for Charles Xavier too.
Yeah.
You look at animated like comic book looks for Alfred Pennyworth, and both Mark Evan Jackson and that actor have the look down too.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
EJ, who you got?
All right, so mine are a little bit out there. So for my Alfred Pennyworth, he's older now, Sean Bean.
But that means he has to die.
That's okay.
Because Sean Bean dies in every movie.
Yeah. So Sean Bean's my
that's
Alfred.
good, though. Yeah.
And for Harvey Bullock, I'm going to show my age a little bit and just show my my movie taste. Vince Vaughn.
Ooh, fun.
Vince Vaughn.
I currently have him.
You know.
Dodgeball, Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really good.
Like he comes across that slimy, you know, really like he could be comic relief too. Like the guy that's like, like Vince Vaughn. He could improvise. Well, he would be a very interesting. You could buy
Vince
it. This
Vaughn
guy's
would
a
be
little slimy, you know,
like the perfect animated series Harvey Bullock.
Yeah,
brought to film. Like he fits that perfectly.
Yeah,
100%. I love that. Yeah, no, those are out there picks, but those are really good picks. Jay, who you got?
So for my Alfred, I actually have an actor who's been around for a long time. He's been in multiple Shakespeare adaptations, but recently he was in the Loki TV show on Disney Plus. But I can't, and the Force Rise of Skywalker. I can't separate Richard E. Grant from this role. Oh, he played classic Loki.
Yeah,
and he was the head of the First Order fleet, or the Final Order fleet in Rise of Skywalker. I just think he would be so great in this role. He's British, he's older, but if not, Anthony Head would be a really good pick. But for Harvey Bullock, this actor has been around forever and has done really great stuff. But most recently, he was in Black Widow. I think Ray Winstone really fits the role of Harvey Bullock, especially up against Bryan Cranston. They're both about the same age, and Ray Winstone just has that sleazy cop vibe.
Yeah.
I can look up a picture.
Thanks.
I'm drawing a blank. Oh, okay, yes.
He's Dreykov in Black Widow. Yeah.
Love that.
Thank you.
Okay. now a out of the box character to be put on the list, but we had to put him on here. The original Blue Beetle, before Jaime gets the beetle, Mr. Ted Cord. Ted Cord. I'm just going to go ahead and go first here. Mine was an out of the box pick for this out of the box character, Seth MacFarlane.
That's fine. That's fine.
Mostly because of the explorer mentality that we get from the Orville. He can be comedic, he can be serious, and I think Ted Cord is a good balance of that. Because I mean, let's be honest, he's a guy that chooses to dress like a Blue Beetle in the comic books and go around and fight crime. But he's also an archaeologist, so you know, it was one of those out there picks, but I think he could do a good job.
I don't know a lot about Ted Cord or Blue Beetle. The Blue Beetle they have for the upcoming movie, I'm very excited about. I don't remember that Blue Beetle's name, but
that's Jaime Ramirez.
Jamie Ray,
the actor who's playing him, I loved him in Cobra Kai. And then what I picked for Ted Cord though was Adam Scott, both solely on looks.
Parks and Rec. Yeah, that's a pretty solid pick.
Yeah.
Dang.
All right.
What you got, Jay?
So I was really intent on casting somebody who went along with my Booster Gold, because if they do blue and gold, I would prefer that it was Cord instead of Reyes. I just think that makes more sense. They played best friends in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How can you not cast Bradley Cooper in this role alongside Chris Pratt?
I like that.
I just really think it would sell tickets. It would sell me. But yeah, Bradley Cooper and Chris Pratt as Booster Gold.
I since you said that, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I would love to see your Chris Pratt be Booster Gold, right? And then your Ted Cord be Bradley Cooper, but then for some reason Zach Galifianakis is Harvey Bullock. Just so we can get the Hangover crew back in here.
Hangover.
We can get Ed Helms in here. We got to roll for Ed Helms.
Oh yeah, dude, Ed Helms could be Jimmy Olsen, you know, or Perry White. One of the two. You know, just let him be.
Random reporter number 2.
Right. Josh, who you got for?
So this is really out of left field. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe you guys will say it's not, but I think it's really out of left field. But it just makes sense to me. I went with John Krasinski. He's come a long way from Jim Halpert as a writer, as a director, as an actor. He's had a lot of different roles in Hollywood that he's played. But yeah, I think he would make a great OG Blue Beetle. I think exactly what you were talking about, where he can walk that line of he could be funny, but he could be serious. So I think he can do a nice blend of that. And we already saw him play a super smart person dressed in blue. So why not do it again?
Yeah. I mean, limited interaction, but you know, yeah. EJ, who you got for Ted?
So I'm spitballing this one. I didn't have this one prepared. Hayden Christensen.
Okay.
I can see it though. Yeah. Like that fits.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like sand.
Yeah, he's out.
Can't be an archaeologist if you don't like sand.
I love that one.
Killed them.
Oh my god! Could you imagine them doing a meta joke where even Ted Cord, an archaeologist, doesn't like sand?
Yeah.
Just for the one
he gets done an expedition. He like takes his shoe off and dumps a bunch of sand out and goes, "I hate sand."
It just gets everywhere,
bro. George Lucas is a great world builder, terrible screenwriter. Like he should not be allowed to write any scripts.
I hate sand. Yeah.
Come on.
One of the bad lines, which is so funny too, because just a fun fact for those of y'all that don't know, the waterfalls in episode 1 were salt. Another granule thing, like when you see Naboo, the waterfalls that are jetting out, that's just salt being fed through a thing by air. So I watched that on a BTS because the Mythbuster guy, I forget his name, not the one that has the mustache and the hat, but the other one. He worked on that, and he was doing like an interview, and he said, yeah, that's salt, because that's all like a small model. Like we used a lot of that. So yeah, sand and salt were very highly used for the filming of that movie. So, all right, well, guys, that's awesome lists right there.
Yeah.
Solid Fancasting.
I have a lot of work.
Welcome to we this is the second part. So we appreciate you checking out the first part and now finishing in the second part. For the second part, we are going to do our Talking Nerdy segment. So let's play that little intro music.
Hello, can you hear me?
Each episode, the Bear and the Beard ask a question that they want your input on, along with sharing comments, suggestions, and other things they have already collected. They love to hear from their fans, so let's get nerdy with it.
All right, Fandomites, you know the drill. We ask you a question or for some input on an episode, and for this one being such a big topic, we have two questions for you. Both of them are to float EJ's ego because he came up with them. Kidding, of course, 100%. But EJ did come up with one of the questions and we thought it would be a good idea to ask you guys, not only who would you fan cast for these roles? You don't have to do all of them, but send us in some picks. Send us in some picks for some of these characters. And also, out of the five of us, which person had the best overall cast? Out of the five of us, EJ really wants it to be him, so we will not discourage anyone to say EJ. but no, just give us a rating. I guess you could even rate all of us 1 to 10 scale, like we do our movies and stuff like that. I personally really liked some of y'all's actors more than mine. So I even changed my answer a few times, but and of course that's how we do fan casting. If you ever want to be on an episode like this with us where we fan cast, hit us up in the episode description. We have the email, we have the comments and all that section. And if you're commenting, probably means you're on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow us for all the other nerdy content like the Hesitation Station, Squatch Talk, Bar Tavern Talk, and all those other shows. We really appreciate the Knights of the Nerds Table. Go and give them a subscribe and hit all the thumbs up buttons on all their videos and all that. Make their view count go up. They have some awesome shorts that even I'm like, man, this is a really well done video. Oh man, that's my friends, the Knights of the Nerds Table sometimes. So like, because I don't hear their voices all the time, but I'll be scrolling. I'll be like, man, who did this video? This is really well done. Oh, that's my friends, the Knights of the Nerds Table. So go and check them out for sure. And guys, we really appreciate y'all sticking it out with us for this awesome two-parter.
Thank you, guys.
And what do y'all have? Are y'all doing anything coming out soon or anything like that?
Yeah, we've been doing a video a week, sometimes two, but definitely been consistent with a video a week for quite a while now. And then shorts. The next video that is coming out, I believe, is a preview of the Flash movie. Is that correct?
I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to do Spider-Man first because Spider-Man comes out on June the 2nd. Flash comes out like June 16th. So
okay, so we have a Into the Spider-Verse video coming out, like a little preview for that, and then we'll have one for the Flash movie. We've been dipping our toes into anime a little bit more lately, so we got some anime content if you're into that. I'm definitely going to be producing more of that, and we also very exciting thing coming down the road. EJ had his bachelor party a couple weeks ago, and like a week and a half, boys, and boys, and while we were there, EJ and I and Dieter decided to dress up in costumes and do some filming. We had a professional friend of EJ's who's a professional filmer,
Videographer.
And he filmed us and did a bunch of scenes. We're going to try and film some more scenes soon, and we're going to compile that all together and create a trailer, and we're also going to turn it into like an episode of The Office, sort of mockumentary style episode of us three having fun in costume. So be on the lookout for that. We'll keep you guys updated on all of our socials on what's going on. But thanks for having us on, guys. We really appreciate it. We always enjoy spending time with our friends over at The Bear and the Beard.
And I'll add as well.
We love having you.
Yeah, thanks, man. We're going to be adding quite a few different things. At some point, I'll be doing a James Gunn retrospective where I talk about, James Gunn's career and stuff like that. Obviously, as much as Josh may not like, we have a lot of Snyder fans, so I'll be talking Zack Snyder stuff for a while.
Snyder, who's that? I don't know who you're talking about.
You're all perverts.
It was so funny because the other day we were comparing some of our videos, our latest videos. I did 2 on Snyder, all the Snyder fans just went on and we had a ton of views. And the next video we were not as much, and Josh was just man, those ridiculous Snyder fans. I mean, they're active on the internet. I was don't talk about our fan base like that. But but we'll definitely talk a lot of different stuff, and I'm excited to kind of pull out more introspective stuff about Hollywood and stuff like that behind the scenes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, those are all sound very cool. I can't wait for the office style mockumentary. I think that's going to be great. Speaking of extra content coming down the pipes, be sure to sign up for that Patreon and get exclusive access to interviews we did at Anime Fest back in March with voice actors like Justin Cook and Kyle Hebert talking about anime. And be on the lookout for more of those coming soon, hopefully from some other cons we're going to go to. But in the meantime, I've been the Bear.
I've been the Beard.
And that's been Nerd Squatch, Josh, and EJ. And we want to remind you, as always, to stay awesome,
stay bearded,
and much love, everybody. We'll see you next episode. Until then, we are out of here.
Boom, cut the check.
That was totally wicked!
Thanks for checking out another Bearded Bear Entertainment production. New episodes of this show are released every other Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time in both audio and video format. Audio episodes are available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, and YouTube is the only place for video format.
For listeners, subscribe on your app so your device downloads it automatically. And for viewers, subscribe and click that little bell so you're notified about all our new nerdy content. Also, don't forget to follow us on our socials.
Facebook,
Instagram, and
TikTok
are all great places to interact with us.
Many thanks to the rest of our team, all of our geeks of the round table, and all of our awesome friends of the cast. Much love, y'all. Lastly, for more cool music like this awesome outro track, go check out HarlequinSoul, Secret Apex on Facebook and Spotify. His links are in the description as well.
Talk at you next episode, nerds.
See you then!